Hey, welcome back to Rumble on the River 2022, brought to you by Fortress Games and Miniatures. Fortress Miniatures and Games, proudly supporting today's game of Wolfnet Radio. The first stop for buying, selling, and things, all things related to Battletech and the gaming hobby. We're back with me, Bloodbath. We're setting up for round 2. We're going to get started now with King of the Hill. It is 1:10 in the afternoon. People are getting very full from lunch. Hopefully they will not be slower than usual. Hopefully they'll perk back up after some energy. And we'll be getting back to some rolling dice and blowing things up. So let's get back to the overhead camera. King of the Hill, round 2. We have Raymond, Jade Falcon, list of a Jade Phoenix Alpha and a Charlie, 2 Ironhold Fire BA units, and 2 Heavy Hover APCs. Steve has a list of a Hero Falcon Alpha, Sizan Hover Tank, second Sizan Hover Tank, Red Kite Attack VTOL, and SM-1 Tank Destroyer. And I'm going to shift that list because it's hanging out a little bit. There we got it centered. There, it's adjusted. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go ahead and everybody ready to start the timer?
Yeah, go ahead.
And begin. Timer's hot. 80 minutes, counting down. So, with King of the Hill, if you haven't joined us before, has one center objective where both opponents will attempt to get to that objective as fast as they can. And at the end of the turn, we will seize the difference. We'll see the difference of the weight classes and see who has the most weight class in the objective by the end of each turn. And whoever has the higher weight class value of all the added up units in the King of the Hill will achieve 1 objective point per turn at the end of the turn. Looks like our opponents are lining up for deployments.
And same deal here. Okay.
You notice the difference in these play mats is that the 2-inch line is actually different compared to the old play mat. Because these newer play mats that were cut down are a little bit longer.
I wasn't following you. I could be within 2 inches.
Jumping. Okay.
Not realizing off the board.
Let's see if we got anybody in the chat. Yep, it's about time, Todd. I know we said 12:45. However, everybody getting out of the food comas from, let's see, Pizza Ranch, and a few of us went to the Japanese hibachi grill, which was awesome. And then we had to get the room unlocked again. So, Ronald Baker, welcome. How you guys doing? Are we coming in 5x5 with sound and audio? There's been a lot of discussion about how the first round went. Some people were very anxious to see how it was going to turn out.
And one of them with talents. So, St. Joseph? St. Joseph.
It's only like 2 hours away from my house.
We are 5 by 5.
Yeah, that's my team.
They had the dunes, yeah, the sand dunes.
So
Yeah, that's where they live in the house, buy a house up there. Pretty pricey.
okay.
Alright, cool.
Michigan side, you get Chicago.
Let's see how we do. Let's roll some more dice.
Yeah.
Oh, it's about time for some coffee, huh?
7.
With a full belly.
Evenly matched. Seems as though the shoe was on the other foot. The socks don't know the difference.
It's a nice area.
Quite some chivalry. Stevie giving some ad libs of good night, sir.
You got 2 left, I get and an H.
Looks like Raymond has decided to mount his BA at the beginning of the deployment in his APCs, which is a very smart idea because the way the errata has gone, you are no longer allowed to load, move, and dismount. So choosing a critical move on when to have those loaded or dismounted at a certain time is very, very important.
Well, that high risk.
Raymond's Turkinas are proxied for Jade Phoenixes today.
We got this 20-inch jump. I despise it. It's disgusting. Yeah. So how fast can your transports go? Well, it's fine, but it's still we're gonna just tow it. Yeah, rules change. But you just can't slide a unit between something based on the base has to. So speaking of discussing TMF, base has to.
Oh, where it fits through or in the area?
Yes.
Yeah, unless you jump.
Steve's Higher Falcon is right on the objective on the lip. And Raymond has moved his other Phoenix Hawk. Excuse me, Phoenix. Jade Phoenix. Up on the far side to the left flank of the water terrain feature.
I haven't had the chance to find one. I'm interested to see how it does. Yeah.
Looks like both lists comprise of some fast vehicles, mostly hover, and some jump strong units, and a little bit of looks like BAs on one side, and a VTOL on the other.
Nothing is nostalgic.
Shiny and interesting. Yeah. Let's go ahead and move you guys around.
It's got 16 inches.
This guy will shoot there. What'd you say these orange dice?
3, baby.
So there's my initial roll. I knew it was there.
This guy started at 1, right?
Transports.
Okay, load up.
So we can say.
Blood Kite zipping along the right flank of Steve's side, setting up about mid-map on top of level 2. His SM-1 tank destroyers on the left flank, sitting very close to the trees. And Raymond is pushing up his APC with iron holds right on the objective. That's going to be a tough fight. Just looking at the size differences can be a big issue.
That's the way to do it.
You know, it's a 20-inch cover on two people who aren't green.
Hey, look at the two writers playing together. Look at the two writers playing together.
That's right.
So, and on a side game,
The sword is mightier than the pen.
the illustrious Charles Gideon and Ben Bourbon are facing off on their own match of King of the Hill, having two writers duking it out on the table, which is a lot of fun to see in person. Maybe some of these games would influence some of their writing.
Seven for indirect fire, 8 for area effect, single move, 7 for medium range.
Actually, I'm going to help them out. And claim not in
Yeah, Red Kite seems like a very viable VTOL unit. It's got some good speed. Looks like the rest of the vehicles have closed in on the center. Still 2 units on the position. Opposing forces will have to duke it out.
That was kind of my goal.
So I basically you have no TMM set to your battle for 1 turn, and I jump. So you got
You said it was a modified, so is there what modifiers are? No one's saying it yet.
okay.
This is a big scenario about moving fast and surviving. I think that's the main key to point out for this scenario is, sure, you can be fast, you can hit hard, but you still have to be able to survive in order to stay on that objective. Otherwise, it's all for naught.
That'd be my 2 moves anyway.
The exact same.
So,
You got it.
all right. Flush those iron holes. And we'll go the decisive right after that.
Omni-mounted.
And decisive is going to go after your tank. Now, what's the team on your tank?
3.
I might actually. How much structure on this?
2 armor, 1 structure. Okay.
You'll notice these players are asking a lot of questions which are very pertinent to their decisions of how much does your unit have for armor and structure, as well as how far does it move, giving them some specs on what they need to do to counteract them.
Just looking at.
Skill plus 4 plus.
It's weird going from classic
So skill plus 6.
This size is
A little better. I did put that on. Just 1 read.
and then the red kite, same thing. Only it's 3 shots instead. And no hits.
Okay.
That's it for my shooting.
Okay. So the iron bolts are going to return fire on the Euro Falcon. They need 6.
Yeah. No.
2 points. 4 damage.
Got us counted to it, huh?
Okay.
There we go.
That's it. Grabbing the Sentinel, we're gonna fire here. The Nyx, Wolverine, and the Jackal, we're gonna fire here.
And Phoenix is also going, or is going to shoot the hero.
So the crab, got one, he's still in 3, medium range, your movement.
Okay, young range plus 2, 5, 6, 7 for range. 11 half, that's disgusting.
So,
Nothing. Close, but nothing. So, check my math for me, keep me honest. I have base TMM2, jump, so that goes up to like 3, right?
Yeah.
I have jump strong 2.
So that would be 5.
Alright. And cool. Sorry, I was rechecking what you said again, and I'm like, 2 points? Yeah, it might be worse. Yeah. Okay, so the J Phoenix in the water is going to fire SM1. Okay. So that's going to be skill 3, jump, medium range,
and they can all jump 16.
and for safety we'll follow medium range. Okay, so that's going to be 11. That is bad.
Jackal. I'll roll motive.
But I did get 2 damage. So I did 2 damage to the season. Very nice. The season or the SM1, sorry. Yeah.
Well, these guys are really doing a good job of talking their way through the stages and phases and the modifiers, the direction, firing and target locations. And that communication makes the game go faster and more accurately, and it builds a better camaraderie between them as players.
Very nice. You're in the structure. Okay, so first with the motive. That's a 10. Okay. That is oh no.
Be the purple.
Nope, that's not a critical miss.
The motive. So you look at the, because you do the dice roll for the motive, the type of unit, and then the result.
Fire control.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. I believe that's it for me.
Vehicle's taking some damage.
So,
Iron holds are coming off.
just one majority. Yeah, majority side.
All right, looks like turn 1 is going to have the Hair Falcon maintaining that objective for 1, so we will update that. One objective point for Steve.
Andrew. 7. Okay. All right.
We're going to how many objectives?
Say again?
How many objective points are you going for?
4? Should be 4.
Yeah.
I'm going to track my objectives on here. So I want to use this.
All right. Yeah. Yep. It's first of 4 wins.
Raymond's going to take initiative first this turn.
Artillery is a special attack, so it will do instantly.
I really enjoy to see all these units clustered around the King of the Hill objective. There's going to be a lot of shifting.
It's half your size.
Size plus half TMM.
Size plus.
Yeah, because you can't do half size. Size plus half TMM. The new errata. Makes it a lot more simple.
I will take.
Boy, a lot of these vehicles don't stay stationary because they need movement to maintain their speed.
I don't know that they can, because they're so short, I don't know that they
Those Jade Phoenixes are going to tear them up. But that SM1 destroyer, whew, and those hovercraft on Steve's side.
Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now it's half movement for a hover through forest, or is that like a? It's prohibited. That's like, might as well.
Yeah.
Too many of these games are no problem, man. So we're like in medium range of those iron. And
Let's go.
try to call that good. Yeah, let me double check to make sure I'm not within short. I don't want to be within short.
Don't you do it, sir.
We just,
Keeping track of your unit's movements, fires is pretty important so that you don't miss something activating or taking a turn. Some players like to rotate their cards to indicate that as a reminder that they have been used and nothing is double moved and things aren't forgotten.
Unbelievable, Ron. What's the thing about going there?
my heavy cover APC is going to charge.
We have a vehicle charge.
At the very least, it's fun.
Raymond's APC is going to smash into that SM1. That might be... Yeah, that might be advantageous. Because he's already dumped his BA.
Yeah, so many fast things, I don't want to deal with it.
You can fire this way, this way.
Battle armor stealth +1 at medium range, right?
Yep, short range is nothing.
Like put everybody in +1 at medium for battle armor, +1 at short for max 0. Yep.
Yep, just a question on stealth. Stealth does not really help you at short range, but it does help you at medium and long range for sure. And these players get so busy thinking about their strategies and movements and keeping track of things that, you know, it's nice to have them ask and get reminded or remind the rest of us that, hey, reinforcement is good.
I think unfortunately, play cagey.
I'd rather do damage to the neck than
Here.
That's what I was thinking.
All that good.
3 by 7. Yeah, that's why I was like,
You gotta get there, buddy.
I don't think you can. I think once you jump in the water, you have to walk out. Let me verify that with our judge.
You cannot jump out of water. That's right.
I don't think so.
I still.
Because some jump jets might be below the water line and practically would explode, so Yep. Once you jump in the water, at least in Alpha Strike. I think Classic's a little bit different, especially if you only have torso mounted, and depending on the depth of the water.
Basically medium range. That's the one
Even though I had 2 armor,
I missed.
another 12.
pass it back.
I'm gonna mark it on the drum sheet. I'm gonna mark it because it's a crit. It just feels better. When I mark the armor off, I was like, that's
Moreover, awesome price support was certainly gifted and sponsored by Fortress Miniatures and Games. We really appreciate that, because these players are really going to walk away with some neat stuff. I'm seeing several hats, box sets, koozies.
As much as I want.
No, I don't think so, because your TMM stays the same no matter how, as long as you're gonna do this on an inch.
and I got both sides. So
We'll look it up.
Hey, one of the Jade Phoenixes is inside the King of the Hill.
Motive hits, do they change the TMM? Yes, they do.
And if you get within 2 inches of the edge,
Our intention is to be outside of 6 inches of this
Both loses
armor.
half its movement.
Yeah, you are inside the back armor.
But inside the back arm.
One more hit.
Disaffected unit loses half its movement on TMM.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and resolve the charge attack.
Yep, another question on TMM and motive crits. They do affect.
Could I see your modifiers?
So if you have a vehicle that takes a motive crit, it will lose some TMM.
kind of coming out over here.
Okay, charge
That sounds, I mean, it's awesome, right?
First and foremost.
He misses, so nothing happens. Okay.
I'm honestly like disappointed he didn't get
That does happen with me. Sure.
Looks like our vehicle charge actually missed on a 10. And both players are kind of sad because they didn't get to see a collision.
So 4 stays. 3. So how much armor and structure do you have? 3. Okay, so I'm going to put 3 shots into them. And then I'm going to put 3 shots into the red guy for 3.
I'm anxious to see those size A's do some damage.
So I'm going to resolve that first. So 6s. Fantastic.
5 damage.
3 damage. Okay. Yep, it goes. And then
This is why I bad idea for how bad you want to
skill 2, medium range. So I need 9 to get the red guy. Yes.
3 damage on the SM carrier. Blows it up.
Well, no, it was 9 because it was 2 plus 2 plus 4 plus 1. Got it. Thank you.
I want the other choice for a
I did 1 damage. All right, shoot it.
I was just setting dice up.
I think it's VTOLs plus 2, so that's 9. Okay. I think it's like 1 inch.
Red Kite taking damage as well.
9 is minus 2, minus 1.
Motive crit.
Yep, alright, so, okay. The Jade Phoenix is going to try to shoot my thing. So we're going to fire. I'm going after 2. So he's skill 3, range, and then this 4 means he needs 9.
Skill 4.
Yeah, 9's for 6 damage.
Short range. Your movement.
You can re-roll it or we can call it.
Okay, yeah.
That's 1 damage.
Oh, no, I have 3.
inch.
Yeah.
Trying to keep that symmetry.
Well, Todd, thanks for letting us be in your living room on your 55-inch Samsung. I don't know if it's a good thing that we're annoying the missus,
Another crit.
but at least we're being projected somewhere.
Anything there for, I'm done.
Yeah, it would be 2, 1.
Well, let's start off with having the hierophant one sheet and
Nothing.
the
And you got
hierophant and which is medium. And he is, unfortunately, he's got one speedy man is going to be a skill 4 jump. So we're already at 7, and then 8, 9, 10. So we 10 to hit. Okay. 3 shots.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so, no, you have that for your next.
One hit.
I guess I have 2 targets that I could go for.
They keep changing the rules.
I really think Steve's going to have to really start group firing on that objective-based
I have 9.
Jade Phoenix to get it off there.
Similarly, I would have 9 to hit
In order to stay ahead of the pack.
Okay, that's probably. And I haven't taken a note, so I actually need 4 shots. That's 2 hits. Go for it.
Is that better? Yes.
And we'll get this.
One boss. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
We have the sizes, and I think both of them are going to.
Three health and, or I'm sorry, 2 armor, 2 structure.
Let's start with this one first. Now, this one first, going after the Iron Planets.
He's going to spend 2 to.
Yeah, it's going to be 4 shots.
You'd be hitting on
2, 3, 4, and then spend 2.
7. The second one, and I've got 4 supplies.
Oh, hold on, I need a photo
No,
of this.
they're telling me. Two tractor tires as well. You're fine. So I get my hats.
The red kite.
Well,
is going to
Stevens, I don't think it's officially Charlie Company cider yet. I think we still have to have a fire off. I think we still have a battle for that.
TMM 6.
We'll have to see what the regiment wants to put together for a battle.
4 shots, 6s.
It is really nice that we can get all these units in the center around the King of the Hill objective. Sometimes you get those matches where they're so spread out, they're really shooting a lot longer ranges. It's kind of nice to see them packed together and get some really good medium and short range shots in.
That was terrifying. All right, so removing the ice skate. And I got points.
You did. Yeah, this is a good game.
This is an interesting fight that I did not expect.
You know, if I was going to sponsor or have a sponsor of Charlie Company cider, I would hope it would be like warm, like hot cider. I think the ice cold cider would be a little bit tougher to swallow. I think I'd vote for hot cider. Like a smoky cider.
Get this SM1. Around you and he's got TMM2. He's just in that awkward spot.
I'm noticing a lot more players are sitting at the chairs instead of standing up because I think some are really digesting some good food we had.
Oh, you did! I'm so sorry. You are right. You are totally right. My bad.
You know what's really good? Hot apple pie
No, thank you for catching
in cider
I
form.
if I would have read my own card, I would have seen.
If I would have landed a helicopter.
Yep, some initiative rules are just way too detrimental to even look at. I mean, gamers really talk about their dice being hot or going cold often, and it's interesting to see their ups and downs and when they can really get good matches in, or how they're affected by their RNG. These two players are really working with each other. This is really good community for play. It's a great example of how they're helping each other move each other's pieces. I mean, this is the kind of example we can set for people. Hot cider, hot dice, cold cider, cold dice. I like that. I think you got the ticket, Andres.
So I'm going to
Oh, yeah.
I'm in the circle.
Bringing in the BA, backing up that Jade Phoenix. They still got a long ways to go to get in that objective. It's interesting how we're seeing big units come into the objective and stay, and you're seeing a lot of lighter, faster units come into the objective and then shoot back out. So it's interesting to see the dynamic of how movement flexes and shifts during the entire match. I'm seeing a lot of potential back shots that are going to happen with that second Jade Phoenix to the rear. That's good placement on Steve's end. Those rear shots will give you a really big hang up, especially when they get a whole extra 2d6 when they fire.
We'll go 0-star here. I need 9. 2 where he was.
I think this match has been described as disgusting the whole entire time by the movement profiles by each player. It's fun seeing those mannerisms that are keyed off every time.
4, 5, or 6.
because I want to see it happen.
Raymond is determined to get a charge out of his APCs.
Get it someday.
Oh, it's going to happen.
He has minimal damage, or he has minimal damage on short range, so it's not. It's like.
Yeah. Those players are right. Those vehicles that have minimum damage profiles, once they've done their task of transporting and dropping off BA, they either go back to doing that and playing focus or redirection, or they get repurposed. And charging is a thing now. This Splash in a Cup brought to you by Jim Beam. Because when the commentators get stiff, it's time to loosen them up.
I'm noticing something went awry because
Well, it's 48 minutes after the hour, and beautiful southeastern to central eastern Iowa. Enjoying the views of a perfectly good hotel hosting at least 16 players, enjoying the weekend, battling out stompy robots, laughs, some crying, and a whole lot of busted mechs.
Weapons hold is going to be 22. Yeah, you're right. It's 6 stuck on the size over this direction.
He's a size 4.
So basically like on
I thought the section was a size 2.
Did you count your objective for that Jade Phoenix? This past, was that Jade Phoenix there this past turn at the end? So you guys are 1-1?
Yeah.
Okay. I need to update the objectives.
Oh yeah, no, I'm thinking of
This Jade Phoenix.
motive jets. Those are one GTS. So yeah, we're saying we're going to like
With the intention of he's still in his heart. 79.
Ooh, fireball.
let's see.
Whoa. Did I hear a VTOL's gonna charge?
Six damage.
Oh, well, I just take That's all the damage I did to him was not like
With this bullshit of 4s, I'm gonna roll an 11
We'll get it.
to hit.
And ladies and gentlemen, as a matter of fact, we did hear a sprint helicopter is going to charge a Hero Falcon from the rear. That will be an interesting outcome. I can't wait to hear about. Great question, Andreas. How often does King of the Hill end with someone getting 4 objective points compared to running to the time limit? I would say we're running to the time limit the majority of the examples and testing. I mean, we really have a lot of scenarios that they're running the time limit. Sometimes they're that close. They're usually not one-sided that much. And that's what we like to see. Like, the more even the outcome, the better. Because it seems more fair. And there's plenty of potential.
So, charge, I need an old,
There we go.
yeah, 7 plus 4 plus 1.
Plus rear shot.
Do you want to shoot first?
Oh, close.
So 3 and 1.
No. Alright, well, now the Jade Phoenix is going to try and get the job done.
That one just went whizzing by. Boom.
He needs 7.
Yeah. I mean, you've done 2 damage to it.
That was already good.
Yes. No need to take.
So, I'm just going to go ahead and roll 4 at a time. Yep.
Skill 2.
2 damage so far. Three. Okay.
Looks like we're starting to get a few matches starting to complete themselves. At least one.
He's going to fire at.
Thank you.
I was just going to lay it there.
The other season.
First in already for round 2, King of the Hill. Tom and Ray's match. Tom was the winner with 3 objectives, 199 points destroyed. Then Ray with 0 objectives, 45 points Wow.
And one of those is a crit. Okay, give me that motive and or motive and crit. So the motive
All right. Hopefully, we'll start seeing more of the matches finish up.
is a 7. 7 is no critical hit on field. Okay. The iron holds are going to fire back at the same time. Okay. Yeah, of course. So 2.
Iron holds the size in.
Okay, that's nice.
They did 5. Oh, that kills him. 4.
5 damage to the size in, destroying it. Those iron holds are massive.
My turn for yeah. Well, that's my best units on the table. I got a very strong close to mighty, even killing the Phoenix.
It has 1 armor. You're talking about the Astro. Yes, the Astro
It looks like the iron holds were destroyed as well. Some people would call that a pretty good trade.
That is
Well, that's the end of the turn. 2 to 1?
yeah, 2 to 1.
All right. Objectives are 2 to 1. That Jade Phoenix keeps racking up size advantage in the center. And looks like Steve has a Hero Falcon and the Red Kite left against 2 Jade Phoenixes and 2 APCs.
Okay.
This is starting to get a little bit one-sided. Well, you know, depending on how you choose your 200 list, this can be really, it can really be a difficult choice to figure out what you want to take. But if you're using your units in the complements they have for good synergy, sometimes you need those heavy hitters in order to clean out all the light stuff. And vice versa, because sometimes those lighter units can get around the backside and they can just hammer on larger vehicles to larger decks too. And of course, your die rolls are always going to play a factor. You can never really count someone out until the end. All right, doubling up on the King of the Hill objective.
I'll start shooting. Okay.
Looks like 4 in, and Steve 2 out.
Okay. Sorry.
Looks like he's more in a defensive position now, and just trying to do damage and stay defensive and protect himself.
We're at 6, 7 distance.
Man, those Turkinas that are proxying take up a lot of room on that objective. I wonder if that would actually be a problem where your units are taking up so much room that your opponent can't even get something on the objective. Wouldn't that be something?
You just got to find the T-set, which is coming from here.
You'll get 1 hit, strips off your armor, that is otherwise insufficient to be interested.
Alright, so my Jade Phoenix can fire at the Red Kite. 3, stood still. Your TMM, range.
Boy, look at that. I got this handy dandy Fortress Miniatures and Games koozie right there for my big mug cup right on the table. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, I did 2 damage. That's pretty good. That's most of the lead soul. Give me that motive and crit.
Ooh. Motive and crit on the Red Kite.
8. Okay. And the crit is on 11. Oh, that's crew killed.
Ooh.
So, yeah, they just crashed. Okay.
Red Kite has a crew killed. That's all downward spiring from now. Oh, good shooting.
Skill 3. He didn't move.
Now we're just down to the Harrow Falcon left on Steve's side,
Yeah, it's good.
opposed to 2 Jade Phoenixes and 2 heavy APCs.
What have I forgotten?
Oh, one hit on the Harrow Falcon.
All right, and that's the end of the turn, so that's 3 points.
Yeah, you're gonna win this one. Full initiative. My really last hope is just to keep you from favoring me. So
I get it.
Yeah. Okay, 7. So move everything.
All right, we end that turn or that turn.
Okay. I likewise.
Objective will change from 3 to 1.
Try to get as much woodland between 3.
Just one left for the win. In Raymond's favor. We'll see if there's 6 inches of trees in the way. Nope, not enough. Still got a firing solution.
So I have
Looks like Raymond's going to stay put on top of his objective, and Steve is going to brace for impact. Hopefully get some damage back on them.
I have to have 2 inches of my arm.
You got a +4 to hit, like, come on.
You can fire through up to 2 inches of my range without being instructed.
So I can shoot back at you, I'm just instructed.
So there it is.
Okay.
Yep. Yep, there's 2 inches on the edge.
Yeah, just roll. I'll roll.
Medium range.
Range, woods, and 5 and 10.
Out of here. I got one more. Yeah, plus 1.
When I
With. Man.
Sure, it's a crit. So
2. Got him.
Oh, you kill him.
Oh, shoot. There goes the Harrow
I'll try
Falcon.
and throw 3 back at you, needing.
Sure, maybe you'll get a headshot.
Yeah, maybe I'll hit the movement one, right?
Well, the Harrow Falcon goes down for the count, but he's going to return fire yet, see if he can do something else. Come on.
Skill 4.
So we're at my brain is skill 4.
1 medium range. Yeah, you can do it.
Okay. So I got 1. Oh, 10. Well, I got 110. So
Well, you flipped a crit.
You either can do a physical or you can shoot the arrow.
7 is movement.
alright.
Alright.
Alright, hey, keep doing that. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
And that'll finish this round for these two, for Raymond and Steve.
Look at what those cards are for those Jade Phoenixes. Those are sick. I have 14 feet on those. I love the way they look.
Yeah, the flying shot saucers are great.
Update the objectives, 4 to 1.
Life. When did are these relatively new or are these?
Yeah, these came out in like the last 4 or 5.
Got it.
Like within that time frame. I forget which one exactly.
Yeah, no, I've never seen these. This definitely took me by surprise.
Yeah, I think they're good there.
I like those.
Okay, so max level I think is right like
29 minutes. 29 minutes left in the round. 2-9.
Physical attacks. If you've got 2 heat on you and you make a physical attack, can you still dump your heat, or does that count as a weapon attack?
it's not a weapon attack.
If you make it a weapon, if you make a weapon attack, you can't dump your heat.
And if you have 2 heat on you, that's half your movement, right?
Should be minus 2 inches per heat point, so 4 total minus. Yep. Good questions. Yep, heat and physical attacks are a thing. Well,
Yeah, you can still make a physical attack.
for movement, not for physical attack, is pretty much the weapon attack is the only thing that prevents you from not venting your heat. So.
Oh,
So, with the recent completion of Raymond and Steve, Raymond pulling off the win with 4 objective points, 200 destroyed, which is a board wipe. And Steve still getting that objective point early on and destroying 60 points of Raymond's. Very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, TMM, high TMM is, I think it's necessary. So like, you know, in some of these games to just survive long enough to deal damage.
So while they finish cleaning up, we'll take a look at our current round.
I was running like Chargers and like, you know, Peanut Ease and
We'll take a good look at our round number 2 supporter, Fortress Miniatures and Games. And you can find it at www.fortressminiaturesandgames.com. The first stop for buying and selling all things related to Battletech and the gaming hobby.
Because they were just able to close the distance that I couldn't close.
Hey, Matt. Okay. I'm fighting Hesby right now.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting. Another quicker win today. And we'll bring Raymond and Steve over if they want to talk about their match together.
Yeah, we're having a great time.
We'll transition back to the map if they want to take a look at any of the layout.
We've also got a little Iron Falcon in there. I'm running them as proxies for Ion Squirrels. Yeah, that one I have. Yeah.
I'm asking.
Yeah.
Why did you hate me like that?
Wolf, take a look at that, Andrew.
Andrew's yelling, it sounds like I need to be over here.
Steve, you want to join too? I will let the both of you talk through your match.
Sure.
So you've got several people in the chat. You've got current questions and things like that. You guys can talk about your match.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, I guess we'll just start at the beginning. So I specifically chose the Jade Phoenixes because of their super high movement ability and their ability to get in the middle of a King of the Hill game, but also tried to keep their skills lower than 4 to compensate for their jump movement so that they could still be combat capable while being big bricks of angry. So the first turn I knew I wasn't going to be able to get in the middle, and so I just tried to get as close, and I wanted to see what the water was like with the errata that allows so that you can roll to see if you don't breach. And that worked out well for me because I managed to dodge 3 breaches. 3 turns worth of breaches, so that was great.
Yeah, solid.
I liked running around my Iron Holds, skill 2, throwing 6 damage around with the APCs. The recent nerf in being able to transport to unload or load in the same turn really limited their mobility and has made me start thinking about how to use those differently. So instead of just being able to be shoot and scoot stuff, I've been using them to try and get them in a position where they're going to have good fields of fire over the whole map, because the map is basically all medium range, and call it a day. And so they were apparently very threatening with the response that I got.
Yeah. No, it was good.
And the Jade Phoenixes did a great job throwing damage around and being scary. And after I got in the middle of I felt like my job was to limit the amount of things that could possibly just cause damage or get on the hill, and just whittle through one thing at a time until the end of it. That was kind of the way that I wound up my mentality through the match.
Yeah, it was effective. It was really effective. I really didn't know what to do about the Phoenix Hawks. I brought all this really fast, hard-hitting stuff that kind of has the ability to get in back arcs, but you brought big stuff that hits harder and moves just as fast. I think that the Sizen being 46 points and TMM4 with 4/4 put in 20-inch move.
Are you guys okay with being viewed too?
Oh, sure,
I
that's
am,
fine.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. No, I think the Sizens with the. I don't even know, where am I looking? Oh, I'm looking up there.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. I'm gonna look over at you because
Yeah.
it's weird otherwise.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 46 point Sizen is an expensive model, right? But it does everything you kind of want it to do.
Yeah.
So they're one of my favorites. I have a hard time not bringing them.
They're very hard to think about negatively. Because there is nothing that is particularly weak about there's nothing particularly weak about them in this format.
No.
So while they're an expensive unit, they're a great unit.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, thanks, Seth.
Andreas, I'm not sure exactly how often King of the Hill ends with time. Most of the time, I've found that someone gets 4 points. I have a limited sample size, though. I mean, I just have the games that I've played, but most of the time, someone gets 4.
I also haven't played King of the Hill with these King of the Hill rules, because it used to be that you would just add up the number or the total size, and then the first person every turn, and the first person to accumulate to 28 was the winner. And but I like this format way better because you can't just two-turn somebody by having a bunch of big improved jump jet bricks get into the middle of the game.
Yeah, for sure.
And provides a lot more strategic thought about how you're gonna get that majority.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I really liked your list, man. I thought it was really solid. It was really well built. It was a challenge to play against. I'm still not quite sure what I would do differently. Well, 2 things I'd do differently. I'd read the cards, so I know that you have hover on everything, and so I wouldn't try to trap you with water and think I was safe.
Oh yeah.
That'd be a starter. The other starter I think would be. God, I think I just needed to bring something with a heavier chassis against you. I needed to bring a ice ferret, what is it, the Fenris J?
Yeah, that Fenris. The Gargoyle J is another really good fast brick. The Phantom H, I think it is, does it does 6 at short, but 1 at medium.
Weird.
But because of that, it's priced. It's a really good budget punch in the balls.
Yeah. Funny. Yeah. I think I needed a heavier chassis this game, or I just needed better luck on those breaches when you're in the water, or I needed something. I needed an edge, because I think your list was better suited for this than mine was. But it was still a really fun game. I enjoyed trying to I enjoyed getting up there real fast and kind of forcing you. That my plan was to get a point right away and force you to have to get to the middle. Unfortunately, I didn't have a very good trap once you got to the middle.
Yeah, one of the big things that I try to do, or that I try to do in a lot of these games, especially King of the Hill, is I try to place terrain so that there's a minimal amount of terrain around the hill. Because I don't want it to be a big short-range fight in the middle that my slower forces, or forces that I don't want to be in short range, can still contribute. So, there were the two hills that I placed on one side close to my deployment, and the forest on the other. I specifically was no, let's take this terrain effectively out of the game. And I think that I don't know of anyone else that purposefully will remove terrain pieces effectively from the game.
Well, it makes sense to do so.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. If I want or I think that I can, if I think that I can win the range game, then it would be foolish to put myself in a position where I'm playing a short range game.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I realized after a bit that like I was going to benefit from those forests. You know.
You used them well.
Yeah. Thanks. You know, I figured I'd benefit from the cover. You know, I could move my guys up on the side and all that. But yeah, I think honestly, end of the day, this was just a mechanically difficult match for the team that I brought. And you knew what you were doing, and you played well. And yeah, I needed you to mess up. I needed you to like have an opening in there that, or I needed a lucky crit. I needed some luck on my side.
Yeah. I definitely understand where you're coming from with all of that.
Yeah, but no, I like seeing what you brought too, because it gives me ideas. Like I was telling you, I got 4 different Turkina models, and I just love the way they look. So you talked about like the Ion Sparrow. I'd heard of that.
Yeah,
that looks really cool.
The butcher bird. It's a little fast boy that's angry, and I love angry fast boys. But specifically, usually I bring those to be. I bring the sparrows to dump squads of Corona battle on.
Oh yeah.
And so, like in my last game, I had 2 Ion Sparrows, a Loki, and the APC Ironhold. Yeah, definitely. And I managed to get somebody in a corner by and just jump the sparrows on top of them and dump the Coronas into short range.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Because it's really funny running around with battle armor mounted on something with 20-inch movement.
Yeah.
It feels like you can effectively be anywhere on one half of the board.
I'm running Savannah Masters in my faster lists that care about objectives, right? And I love those things.
Yeah.
They are $1.80 worth of pewter.
I know.
And like less than 10 minutes worth of painting.
Yeah.
Unless you really try, then they're half an hour. Well, they're a lot of painting unless they're a little painting, you know? But they're I don't know. I just love everything about them. They're just comedic.
Yeah.
And effective.
What's
39 inches of movement on a turn when you sprint is just it's stupid. Oh hey, thank you,
Aaron.
Thank you. Yeah, no, this is super fun.
So with the Savannah Masters, have you looked at anything using XMech to use them as transports?
Yes.
Yes. I've been thinking about using those that ridiculous movement with like Marauder battle armor or.
Oh my God, Marauder battle armor is so good.
Yeah.
Yes. Like Savannah Masters with XMech. I love it because the armor's bigger than the Savannah Master. It's basically like you're just climbing on the back of this little nuclear engine and just like. I don't know. It's something like from an Ernest movie. It's just stupid, but it's awesome.
The thing that really makes me laugh about the potential idea is that there's not just one of them. There's 4 of them that are climbing on this thing.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, that's brilliant. Well, I don't even care if it's good. I'm gonna do that next time. That just sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Yeah. Gee, 39 inches of battle armor delivery. It that's a special kind of stupid, and I'm here for it. That's amazing.
There's nothing on the back of the T-shirt, but I appreciate it. I just have my CSO name on the sleeve and on the actual emblem itself.
Oh yeah, nothing can slow down the Savannah Master though.
Yeah, nothing.
I just love the like. I just love like the concept. The whole like we have a very dangerous jet engine. We have it's nuclear powered and it's incredibly unstable, and we have a lot of them, and we need to sell them immediately before anyone investigates too much. Mm-hmm. And so that's their whole business model, and they're. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go grab a drink real quick. Again, it was a great game.
Yeah, great game, man. A lot of fun. Yeah, fun. Good luck in the rest of today. Yep. I want to hear about your kill count at the end of the day with this.
Oh my goodness, it'll be fun.
Yes.
All right. Well, see you later, chat.
Yeah. Adios.
Thanks, guys. That's good input. It's always nice to hear players talk about how they work through everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, and how they're going to play next time. A lot of fun. The players will reset and get ready for the next round.
If it wasn't that crab really did work.
Let's see how much time we have left.
To be honest, all you have to do is screw up all of my plans is turn that dolly around, and I don't get it.
Just under 12 minutes left in the round. We'll finish up this round. It looks like we have
Okay, just wanted to double check.
1, 2, 3, maybe 4 tables left. Four play sets left, ready to finish up.
Ooh, Gideon.
Coming down to the wire.
Got it figured out.
Yeah, his indirect fire turned out a little bit better this round.
Say it again.
His indirect fire turned around a little bit better this round. All right, we'll readjust our camera back so we get it back to playback.
That's what I wanted.
That's good, man.
If you table the guy, do you at the same turn, do you get like 4 point? Do you get 5? Or is it 4? 4 total.
Up 2 4s.
A lot of points there.
Rifleman's gonna do the same thing.
All right.
We round up odd numbers or round down?
All right. Wow, that was close. A Discord update popped in. I went to go get rid of it by Xing it out, and I hit the stop recording button, which was lucky because I didn't stop streaming. That was lucky. There's a lot of pitfalls with streaming. There really is. And we're just lucky we're able to keep all the controls in front of us before they get ahead of us and behind us.
What's the next scenario? Because we have Rampage.
You wanted to wait with capture the flag later?
Capture the flag.
Let's do Rampage.
Yeah. Capture the flag. We'll finish the night with stand.
Raj. Yeah. Do Rampage next. I mean, as long as we hit them all. Do we have enough time for 5?
We have the room until midnight.
Roger that.
Until whenever.
So you get another crit chance because that was in okay.
And we'll leave this sit until everything's done.
Oh no. Z hit a poor girl hard with a jump serve. Right in the face. She's like, put your hands up at least.
So your daughter head capped another girl in volleyball?
This was so ferocious.
Yeah.
There was a time.
Well, I hope she's okay.
Oh, Ron came over. He showed me one was that.
Get an ice pack.
One structure left, and a great. Dude,
Is the sucker
fun
that
game.
would not die. That
Fun
was
game.
an intense game. That was fantastic. I think that one kind of eliminated me from the tournament here. I'm gonna set it with 0 objective. No.
That's hilarious. Now,
Wow, he's not typing very good anymore, is he?
What's that?
I think he's gonna
Because what happened here?
That is, I play Raymond next.
You what?
I bet I play Raymond next.
Oh, good for you. All right, some of those game results are coming in. Ron against Sean. Ron took the win with 4 objective points and 146 points destroyed. And Sean, 0 objectives, 185 points. Now that is an interesting turnout.
Yeah, and
Ron
for
focused
Sean
on the
not to
objectives,
have scored an
and
objective,
Sean
that'd be big.
focused on killing stuff. That shows. Well, good turnout. Something's getting done. Again, Raymond White, 4 objectives, 200 destroyed. Tabled Steve at 60 points, 1 objective. Tom and Ray. Tom won with 3 objective points, 199 points of damage. Ray with 0 objectives, 45 points. Gideon and Ben. Gideon took the win with 4 objective points, 200, tabling Ben, who had 2 objectives, 65 points. It was crabby on crabby. They had a bunch of crabs. Hey, did you guys go out to Red Lobster for all that crabs you guys had?
No, but it was vicious. It was violent. It was spicy.
You actually went base to base with him so you could get him an IF. You went base to base with him so you could spot for IF. That's awesome.
Yes. Actually, it wasn't very nice because I took advantage of his curse.
Yep.
Because I knew if he only got 1 roll, he'd miss.
That'll do, Donkey.
So I got base to base with 1 roll.
Yeah, stuff happens. Oh, Andrew and Chris. Andrew took 4 objectives, destroyed 200 points, tabled Chris with 2 objectives, 120 points. Steve and Michael. Nope, wait. Those are getting out of. Good thing I checked at those. That's the old. All right. And this.
There's one come in that I don't know about?
No, that's domination. That's King of the Hill. Yep, those are all correct. Of course, some people don't know how to fill in stuff. Come on, guys.
Matt. Matt. Next game. You're gonna be my pinch dice roll. Like I told you. I'll move you next. You just roll
Very long shot.
If I can use all Ghost Bear dice, it might happen.
Let's do that. Whatever it takes. I told Mario, I was like, hey man, you can come get your for my dice anytime you want. Please do that. What do we got for time?
4 minutes.
4 minutes, gentlemen.
Since I'm busy doing this.
Alright, I moved my minimum.
Wow, that
There
changed
you go.
quickly.
Yeah, but I'm hurt. But I got to
Yeah, but what's the? Who has the victory condition?
Right.
Hey, boss. Andrew.
I just couldn't go in his
Cup.
Please. Feel if I had been just lucky to get the variety.
making them work for it, Tyler.
Oh, I didn't have to walk. Thank you. Sorry. I hate walking on those cords. It's like I don't want to walk on those cords. Like, be the last thing I do is pull something out of the wall.
I only helped eliminate those guys. I don't think I could have done better too. I got 200. I think that was my best round. Okay. That fire control hit on my artillery guy. That was a lot. That was ultimately why I didn't win.
Wow. A wing in effect with 20 movement, 2 armor, 1 structure. That's fast. Yeah, but you need so many inches to maintain, to get up in the air and then stay in the air. That's kind of being restricted on your movement profile. But, if if it's something you need to utilize, that can be a viable asset.
You were here though, right?
127.
Okay, never mind. You can't do that.
I was gonna say, it's gonna cost you 10 to get in there, right?
With them?
Yeah.
Oh, your own stuff.
Comics are susceptible
Are you scattered into your own?
2 minutes left. Oh, we got another. Awesome. Round 2, we have Topa and Drew. Drew walks away with the win. 4 objectives, 127 points destroyed. Topa with 1 objective, 152 points destroyed.
He's asking if you could turn the laptop camera on so he can see you while you're talking.
Yeah, so here's the rest of the.
He's checking his hair. So we'll get to take a break. Thank you.
And that's bingo. End of round. Go ahead and finish your turn.
Yeah, anyways, you hit the tree on TD, but he had one strike. Only one strike. Yes, roll for credit. People say Chase says the last structure from
Did you add some cardinal verbs? You had some cardinal verbs?
He's upset that he's not here. He thinks he's helping. He's trying to help where he can. And
All right. Next results: King of the Hill players Scott and Mike. Winner goes to Scott with 3 objectives, 176 points destroyed, and Mike with 1 objective, 158 points destroyed.